Divine Throne of Primordial Blood is a cultivation novel whose power system revolves around eugenics, and maybe even a little bit of racism as well, in order to spice things up. This is because within the novel, humans can't naturally cultivate, hence they rely on extracting demonic beast bloodlines in order to cultivate. The problem, however, is that the method of extracting bloodlines was lost due to humans being humans, so now the remaining cultivators have to keep it within the family or be extremely careful when they're making kids so as not to lose their already thinning bloodline. Which brings us to our protagonist Suchen, someone who has a pure human bloodline, meaning that his chances of cultivating are purely zero, as well as his chances of getting with the girl he likes, whose bloodline is the illustrious Shining Dragon. Not wanting to wear a green hat anytime in the future, our protagonist embarks on an impossible journey to innovate a non-bloodline related method of cultivation. So Suchen's reasons for pursuing cultivation is initially for the box, which is not really an awe-inspiring motivation when you put him next to other protagonists. Aware of this, the author very reasonably made an arc in which Suchen's motivations went beyond just pursuing a girl and developed into Suchen genuinely wanting to develop humanity as a whole. Now, you might be wondering if that's the case, then why are you still calling him the corniest protagonist? Well, that's because even after all of this happens, for whatever reason, as he was being examined on his formation disarming skills, Suchen felt the need to compare the act of disarming formations to that of picking up girls, going into detail about how you needed to slowly break down the barriers, advance slowly, and blah blah blah. Like, this is probably one of the only novels which have made me genuinely feel embarrassed to be reading it. The only reason I didn't drop it being the fact that the novel was actually very engaging. For one, watching Suchen make advancements in his research is something that's always rewarding, not to mention the subsequent publication of his findings and the various consequences that come with it, whether they be good or bad, because believe it or not, some people are not too fond of having cultivation be accessible to everyone. On top of this, the competition between the different races is also something that kept me hooked, particularly the character of Danba, someone who's a very worthy rival to our protagonist throughout, and I mean throughout the novel, as they're able to go toe-to-toe with Suchen in terms of schemes, intellect, and smarts, despite being from a race that's infamous for being headstrong. And tying all of this up, I was also just invested in unraveling more about the lore of the world and its various mysteries. Like, for a spoiler for example, who was the old man that blinded our protagonist, and what were their intentions? So if the novel at all sounds interesting, I suggest that you give it a read. If you've already read it or have any thoughts in general, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you all later.